Everything I know, number 8. B, take 3. We've got to get it right this time. Alright, I've got a painting here. And it's Tuesday, the afternoon. I'm trying to figure out what the best time of the day to do these is, because there's a different tone to the different times of the day, for sure. You know, there's the morning ones, you know, bleary-eyed morning ones, and there's noon where I'm kind of, you know, middle of the day is not my best time of day, and then there's late at night where things can get a little spooky. And I want to try more of those, actually, just for fun. Now the thing is, I've done several takes of this, and I swear to God that I have, each one of them, I have picked up a brush and talked about how I must paint in this video, and somehow I start talking and I forget about it. It's quite embarrassing. Really, it's quite embarrassing. It's like, it's so much worse than you know like having your car keys in your hand and forgetting why you are going to go out to your car and stuff, because it's just like I'm standing right here talking about it, and a few seconds later I'm done, and the only thing I really am consistent with is the working hypothesis that I'm Douglas Truth, and that this show is called Everything I Know. And so I may demonstrate my inability to bifurcate my own intelligence, because I am going to paint. I swear I'm going to paint. And if I paint, I may stop talking. That may be, I may forget about the camera, in other words. In the same way that I forget about the painting in front of me, the brush in my hand, I may forget about you. But I just want to tell you not to take it personally. Please, it's just that my attention is going into the painting, my friend. The painting. It's a black dog in this. I think it's out of the frame. You'll see it, because I'll be cutting in the finished painting. But, so we're just going to see how this goes. Here's the mysterious girl with the check skirt on and the pink shoes, and she's, you know, semi-transparent. She's translucent, ghost-like. And I'm still working out the technical details of painting in that way. This has the pink table in it, becoming an icon, rising fast in the list of icons. It's got a staying power. We'll see. I mean, there's been other icons like the orange towel. I did a whole show called The Orange Towel. All right, where am I going to start? That's the thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna dress up the table. This is what I'm going to do. I've got one of the nice things about here's a product placement about these golden open acrylics is that they, you know, I put these paints out here this morning because I was going to paint while I talked, and I didn't. See how much farther I've gotten this time? This is like a breakthrough. This is a breakthrough. We're not sure if we're going to make it to the top of the mountain today, by which I mean the tip of this brush with its paint making a mark on the canvas, but I feel like we're getting extremely close to that. I'm mixing up a little paint. I'm looking at quinacridone. I'm not sure. I think I have my own pronunciations for all these chemicals because I read them and I don't know how they pronounce them. And English being one of those languages, unlike Spanish, say, where you basically know how everything is pronounced just by the way it spells. English, you really don't have any clue at all. You just have to know the word. So maybe quinacridone or something like that, but I call it quinacridone and alizarin. And my God, it's true. I am painting. I am actually painting and talking. I'm gonna be putting in some sound effects for this. I've got some paint thinner on here. Golden open acrylics paint thinner. Because with these paints, these really transparent acrylic paints, I can do something I never did before with my old Nova colors, which was put transparent layers one over the other. So you can bring a certain tone out of a background that you laid down. And you can also, you know, I maybe in the same way that like metal flake paint on cars will was so cool. I guess they still do that, at least in the car shows they do. Is the depth of the painting. That's part of the beauty of the paint job, is the clear lacquer being piled up so much so that it's like amber. You know, the light goes in, it bounces around for a couple thousand years, and then it comes back out real softened by the amber or the coats of paint on the side of the 56 Corvette or whatever that car is. It's kind of funny how where we are when we reach puberty has a lot to do with our aesthetic choices the rest of our lives. If you hadn't noticed, cars and music, especially for people my age and a little bit older, are really linked. Because cars were our freedom machines. I think that happens less today. Cars are more like slavery today. I mean, we have to have them, but everybody hates driving. I know. Back then, driving was a real joy. I mean, it was exciting. Of course, I grew up in Indiana. We had country roads, and we could go out and drive. You know, get high or drink or something, and go out on these country roads and drive without our headlights on a full moon night. It wasn't really. I mean, it wasn't wild a thing to do at all. Really, it was. It's just kind of, you know, farm country adventure, I guess. It was either that or go drink coffee at the Steak and Shake or the White Castle. I mean, we were basically just getting out of the house. But we loved to ride. We loved to ride those motorcycles, and we did a lot. That's why I started drinking coffee, was because we'd be out riding in the early winter, early spring, you know. And it'd get cold, and so we'd go to these. Steak and Shake was our favorite coffee hamburger joint. They served breakfast too, I think. Maybe not. Anyway, they had the coffee was pretty good. We loved the burgers, and they had no problem with us sitting there for a long time, warming ourselves and talking about motorcycles or whatever we talked about. I really can't remember what we talked about. I remember being pretty stupid back in those days, which you know, I try to remember that because it gives me pause. If I ever think, you know, oh, I'm really grooving now. I've got this thing. I've got this, you know that phrase. You know, I don't. I probably don't anywhere near have it. I don't got this, in other words. And in the future, I just don't want to embarrass myself in the future. We're thinking like that, you know. It's, in fact, and in some ways delightfully so, things have only gotten stranger and harder to figure out. And that's, I heard a conversation on the radio about science and about the basics of science being the questions and the problems, not the answers, but the problems and the questions. And that's the way this, I'm not sure what to call it, inner research or, this is a good time for me to interject here that a friend, in one of the earlier videos I talked about something which I find quite meaningful, and look, see, I've been painting. This is fantastic, everyone. We've together, we've really done something special here. So anyway, when I said the unexamined life is not worth living, and I still don't know who it is. Either I said Plato and that's wrong and it's Socrates, or I said it's Socrates. I think I said Plato, and that my friend Ron wrote to me and said he really liked the video, but that it was Socrates that said that. So get it right, okay? And so notwithstanding who said it, it's good information. You've got to examine your life, and so that's what I'm talking about. Is this process, you know, I guess in circles I travel in, out in California, it's spiritual work, but we hate that language, my friends and I, and because it's so polluted, overused, toxic, marketing language, or just for just like people that just just happiness. I'm sorry, but I'll go there another place because it's a whole rant. I doubt if I can do it on 10 minutes. So examining. Everything. I think I said this earlier. Everything can be turned to examining your life. The unexamined life. You examine yourself, but basically the tools you have for doing that are examining your reactions to what happens to you. Because the world we're just navigating through it. Stuff happens to us. We begin a lot of things. We manifest a lot of things by our own actions, but much less than we think, I think. And what we do is mostly unconscious, and we're after the fact writing the narrative about it. I'm pretty convinced of that, and I've got the reports to show it. But what am I? I'm wandering around, but I'm there. I know exactly where I am. I know exactly where we are. So stay with me. The thing is that this looking at your life, this investigation of what's going on, who you are, what you are, and what's your larger purpose. I mean, I don't understand if that's at least not a concern. See, I can't hear very well. That was probably bugging you people for a while, but it just dimly hit my consciousness. So the thing is that gets more interesting. It's not like it doesn't get any easier or simpler or anything like that. Like golf. It's like golf. One of the reasons I like that game so much. But it just gets more interesting all the time. So with that, I will leave you with that unassailable assumption, which is that I happen to be Doug Truth. And this show's the one we call Everything I Know. I wish you well.